Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we have a brand new credit card from Capital One to take a look at. That's right, the much rumored, long anticipated Venture X card is now going live very soon. So, typical fashion, I'm here to tell you everything you need to know about this Venture X card. We'll cover everything, the multipliers, the benefits. We'll talk about the sign-up bonus as well. I'll give you some thoughts and some use cases, as well as refresh ourselves on some stuff Capital One's been changing along the way to get to this point. And then lastly, we do have some information about the Capital One Venture Lounges. There is now one open in DFW, that's Dallas's airport. So we have some information on who can get in and the amenities that lounge provides. So we will also cover that. And then to close this one out, we will kind of put both together, the card thoughts and the lounge thoughts. So if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button. Let's get to work. Okay, first things first, let's not waste any time here. Like I said, the Venture X card is coming out very soon. It's going to go live on November 9th. So by the time you're watching this, this is kind of almost like a preview. And then November 9th, you'll be able to apply for the card. Now, this has been rumored for quite some time that Capital One is going to have wanted to do a premium card. We've seen them make some changes to their travel setup, transfer partners, and things like that. But we'll talk about all of that. But let's not waste any time. Let's take a look at the Venture X card and everything that Capital One has to offer. So here we have it, the Capital One Venture X card. So you got the card on the right-hand side there. Overall, I like it. It's a clean design. Blue looks like dark blue to light blue. Is it taking a shot at the Sapphire Reserve? I don't know. You tell me down below. But anyways, while you're really here, we're coming in at an annual fee of $395. For that $395, the multipliers you're going to get are 10x on hotels and rental cars booked via Capital One Travel, 5x on flights booked via Capital One Travel, and 2x on all other purchases. Now, the benefits here is kind of where it gets interesting. So we have a $300 annual credit for bookings made via Capital One Travel. So that could be hotels, airline tickets, car rentals, you name it, just has to go through the travel portal. In addition to that, you're going to get 10,000 bonus miles each anniversary year towards travel. So again, I think you have to use that through the travel portal, but that's about a valuation of about $100. And 1 cent per point deal. Now you're going to get some classics here. You're going to get Priority Pass access. Now you do get Capital One Lounge access to their Venture Lounges, so more on that in a minute. You're also going to get Hertz President's Circle, and then primary CDW, cell phone insurance, and travel insurances as well. Now, while we're here, let's take a look at the sign-up bonus. So the Venture X has, for right now, kind of a two-part bonus, if you will. So the standard part here is you can earn 100,000 bonus miles with $10,000 in spend within the first 6 months of card member ownership. Now the second part here is for a limited time. We don't at the moment know how long that limited time is going to run for. But for a limited time, cardholders can earn up to a $200 in statement credits for vacation rental purchases. So that's going to be like your Airbnb or something like that. And so there we have it. That is the Venture X card from Capital One. Now, I'll give you my thoughts in a second, but there are a few other details to note. Again, I mentioned at the top of the show, if you like what you see, then November 9th is the date for you to be able to apply for that. At the time you're watching it, it is November 5th, so got a few days on that. Number two, we do know this is going to be a Visa Infinite card, which is interesting because the only Visa Infinite cards of note on the market are the Sapphire Reserve, and then the U.S. Bank Altitude Reserve, I believe, are the only ones of note. And then lastly, just like those cards, it is worth noting that this is going to be a metal card. So we don't know if it's going to be drop worthy, right? Is it more Amex Platinum metal or is it more Sapphire Reserve flimsy kind of metal? I don't know, but I know that will make some people happy right there. So you're getting everything with it. Now, overall, I think this card's pretty solid, believe it or not. And I'm quite surprised at this offering from Capital One. Now, this kind of tracks because we've seen Capital One go through and slowly kind of build out the roadmap or the plan to get to this point. By that, I mean, they were rumored to make lounges, and they started making lounges again. DFW's live, we'll talk about that in a second, but they have two more, one at IAD, I think, and then I can't remember where the other one's at. Put it on screen. But we've seen them do that. Then we've seen them tighten up their transfer ratios as well to their transfer partners, which is going to be a huge part in this because if you're talking about earning 100,000 mile sign-up bonus, now that brings back into effect transfer partners because they've tightened up their ratios. So there's a lot that they've been doing to get to this point. So overall, the card itself, I think it's pretty good. If you take a look at it, I think the knee-jerk reaction is always to compare these things to the existing cards on the market, the Sapphire Reserve. I mean, it looks kind of like the Sapphire Reserve, both in benefits and then in design. And then you'd probably want to compare it to the Amex Platinum, but I think that would be a mistake. In fact, I think this card is so good because it's trying to do what those two don't do, in my opinion, right? So you have the Platinum giving you all those coupons and everything, right? So that's a totally different thing. But if you compare it to the Sapphire Reserve, which is probably the closest comp, Capital One's kind of saying, well, look, we're kind of borrowing from that formula of like, we're going to rely heavily on going through the travel portal, and you'll get your multipliers that way. And then we're also going to give you enough credits to more than offset that annual fee. It's $395. But you're going to get that $300 travel credit, and then you're going to get the 10,000 bonus miles as well. So right there puts you in the positive about $25 without even trying. Now again, you do have to be vested in the Capital One ecosystem and okay going through travel portals. There's also one thing I want to note on travel portals. The knock on portals is, one, you do have to check the prices, right? Because sometimes the prices can differ between booking directly with a Hyatt or a Marriott versus what you get on an Expedia or something like that. Number two is you don't get status when you go through a travel portal, at least up front. So let me explain. When you go in and you enter in your booking, a lot of times they don't have a spot on hotels, especially to enter in your rewards number. But you can go to the front desk of the hotel and say, hey, can I add my rewards number? And they'll do it. I've never had an issue with that because the people at the front desk don't care, but the overall hotel corporation, they want you to book directly, not through travel portals and spread that commission to them or however that works. So overall, I think the Venture card is pretty solid, and it seems thoughtful to me in the sense that, okay, we're giving you 10x back on booking rental cars through the portal. We're also going to give you primary CDW, and then we're going to give you that Hertz status as well. So the things they're giving you kind of complement each other, which is, I think, is really thoughtful there. So again, if you're in that ecosystem, you're willing to go through that Capital One ecosystem, I think this is actually a strong offering and a much stronger offering than I thought it would be. Now let's talk about some of the lounges stuff really quickly, then we'll close this one out by kind of putting both things together in the full Capital One maturity and travel package, if you will. So as I said at the top of the show, they now have a lounge open in DFW. So let's take a look at how you get in and then what you get once you're in. So here we have it, Venture Lounges. DFW Lounge opens this week. I think it was yesterday, 11/4 actually. So how do you get in? The Venture X card holders get in free with 2 guests. Additional guests will cost $45 each. Venture Card and Spark Miles members get 2 free visits per year. Additional guests would cost them $45 each. And general admission would be $65 per visit, which seems a little steep, but I think I know why they're doing that. So now the amenities you're going to get high-speed Wi-Fi, grab-and-go food, fully stocked bars, coffee bars, quiet work zones, relaxation rooms, luxury lockers, luggage lockers, cycling and yoga. Don't know if they got SoulCycle to put up for that. Shower suites, and of course it is family friendly. Overall, when you put these two things together, it is interesting to see what I'm calling the maturity of Capital One. My biggest knock on Capital One forever has been that their customer base outgrows them. So I think what they've done here is they've managed to tie in some things together really well. Again, the Venture X card is going to get you in. Now, interestingly enough, the Venture card does give you Priority Pass, but Priority Pass isn't going to get you into these Venture X or these Venture Lounges. I think that's the name they're going for. And that's interesting to me because I think they're also taking a look at the existing lounge environment and saying overcrowding is a big issue in most lounges, especially Centurion lounges. I'm pretty sure that DFW has a Centurion lounge. So, again, I think what they're doing here with this full package is kind of saying, well, look, this card, the Platinum charges you $700. You get a lot of other stuff, but then you get these overcrowded lounges. Well, you know what you could do? You could get a cheaper card that gives you the core travel things that you need, decent multipliers through a portal, usable credits in the $300 credit and the 10,000 miles you get. You get car rentals. We covered that stuff earlier. So you get a useful package. It's cheaper. Actually, you can cover the annual fee. Oh, and by the way, our lounges are exclusive is probably the wrong word, but at the moment they're more exclusive because no one has a Venture X card right now. So if you went to Venture Lounge today, I don't know how, you'd be like 4 people there maybe. I don't know. But again, I think it's taking a shot at that. And then on the same exact side, you have the Sapphire Reserve doing the same things, got Priority Pass and stuff, but Priority Passes, lounges are also victims of overcrowding as well. So it's like, hey, why don't you just come down here, get a cheaper card? You don't have to deal with all that overcrowding and everything. Again, I talked about how they're updating their transfer partners. So overall, I think this is a really thoughtful approach by Capital One, and I think they spent the time trying to build out this roadmap to get here. Now, overall, who's this card is for? Well, I think we kind of talked about it. So in year number one, obviously this card's going to make a lot of sense. $10,000 is quite a bit of spend, but you do get 6 months to do it. And with this being a travel-based card, I'm assuming their thought is, well, you're going to be booking a lot of travel and stuff through the portal. So in their mind, 10,000 might not be that hard to hit. But hey, I think the 100,000 is probably worth it, especially given the transfer partners we talked about that they've refreshed. But overall, I think this card is perfect for someone who's probably sat on the sidelines and looked at these luxury cards, luxury travel cards. I mean, we're talking the Old City Prestige was at $495, Sapphire Reserve at $550, Platinum at $700. We've talked about those cards throughout this video. So some people look at those and like, well, I travel, but $700 is a lot to deal with SoulCycle and Walmart and all those coupons for the Platinum. $550 is still kind of pushing it, and it's not necessarily a given that you will get your annual fee back. You do have to work at it. So with that being said, I can look at it like, oh, well, Capital One is offering one, $395. I can easily see how I get my money back between the $300 and the 10,000 anniversary points starting in year number 2. Plus, I get some core travel things that everyone would want, being the insurances, the rentals, things like that. So this card for that person probably makes a lot of sense. And that's why overall, I wouldn't recommend this for everyone past year number 2 and beyond. If you're a heavy Sapphire Reserve Chase user in the Superfecta ecosystem, then no, you're probably better spent staying over there. If you don't mind the Amex Platinum setup or the Amex Trifecta, then you're probably fine. But there is a user base out there that wants to get into this space and says, like, it's just too expensive. I don't want to deal with that. So I think it's a pretty good offering for all the reasons that we've laid out. So, I think we can leave it there. And of course, I want to get your guys' thoughts on it too. But if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. My question for you guys is, let me know your honest opinion about the Venture X card. You can clearly see that I'm kind of a fan after thinking about it for the right person, but what are your thoughts? Are you going to go ahead and pull the trigger on it? And what do you think about these Venture lounges? I'm seriously thinking about just doing a from Detroit to DFW and back to take a look at one and then come back and make the video. So if you'll watch it and if you're interested, I will do it. So let me know down below what you think. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one.